Okay, I'm waiting for it to be live today.
Okay.
Oh yeah, live. I see YouTube now.
You are live now.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us to this afternoon for this live stream. And here we have an important guest here, and it's a privilege to have her because she's a very big. She's my senior. She's my big madam. She's all, and I'm happy to invite her to us and happy to also hear her to speak to us today. Her name is She's a clarified relationship and marriage counselor, and she's also a relationship coach. I've seen her and I've had some of her counsels most of the time. And also she helps individual and couple to enjoy blissful relationship and marriage. She work she also work with individuals and couples who desire true happiness in their marriage, in their relationship, and also has the ability to navigate through the issues of life and to help them to struggle with strategies and helping them to be committed to love. And today we are having this important topic here today, which you will be opening our eyes and will be enlightening our eyes to it. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so delighted to be here with you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
ma.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you. Yeah, you can start, ma.
Okay. All right. So we are talking about the irresistible woman. So what does it mean to be irresistible? I'm just gonna share with you some points that that can make you become an irresistible woman. But first of all, what does it mean to become irresistible? It means to become someone that, because we're talking about relationship and marriage here, so it means
Yes.
becoming someone. I hope you hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Perfect. So it means becoming someone that your spouse just can't get enough of. Becoming someone that your spouse loves so much, someone that your spouse misses when you're not there. So how do you become a woman whose husband is stuck with you for life, like so stuck with you? And
Mm-hmm.
on how to
Yes.
become a woman. So point number one is, first of all, you must know who you are. You must know yourself. You must
Okay.
understand yourself. You must love yourself. Okay? So because a lot of things, especially in relationship and marriage, that tends to make women feel somehow irritated, quarrel, the whining. It all sometimes, most of the times, it comes from a place of emptiness in ourselves, a place where we don't really know what we want, we don't really understand who we are, and we don't
Mm.
also take the time to love us, to take the time to know and love ourselves first.
Mm.
You can't give what you don't have. You have to
Mm.
fill yourself with so much love. It is from the overflow of the love that you have for yourself that you are able to spread to your spouse and as well as your family, your children. It's because you are so filled with this love that you're able to express it to, your spouse. So first point for me is get the time to know yourself, get the time to understand yourself, and take out the time to love yourself. You deserve to be loved. And who
Yes.
better love yourself? And it
Mm.
also because it's for yourself, then you are able to know exactly how you would want to be loved. When
Yes.
you are able to love yourself, you know how you want your spouse to love you. You know how to communicate your needs to your spouse. You know how to, express your feelings in ways that project positivity. All right.
Yes.
So that's my first point, how to become an irresistible. Point I would like to see is, what are your expectations? You need to ask yourself, in this relationship, in this marriage, what are my expectations? Are they unrealistic? Because a lot of times, some of us just go into a relationship or a marriage expecting things from our spouses that they can't and can never, ever, ever give to us. So you must understand that there are things that your spouse can do for you. Those things can only be done by God and by you. And things like identity. There are certain needs. There are certain needs that your spouse can meet for you. So when you have these expectations, you want your spouse to begin to define to you who you are. That's not right. You want your spouse to begin to talk to you, tell you certain things to make you feel good. Yeah, that's different from affirmation. But when you try to find your identity, your purpose, that's another thing. Your identity, your purpose, acceptance, and self-esteem. When you try to find these four things from your spouse, you're heading for failure. Because this is a chronic for every human being, but it is not something that someone else should give to us. It is something that God has already given to us, and it is something that we need to identify for ourselves first. So when you come into a relationship or marriage carrying this list of unrealistic expectations, expecting your spouse to meet things that only God can and only you can meet for yourself, you begin to head for becoming a nagging wife, becoming a whining wife. So you begin to become unhappy and sometimes bitter because you're expecting what your spouse can do for you.
True.
Right. So, second point, what are your expectations? So write down, take a sheet of paper, write down, what do I really expect from this man? And really come to terms with it that these things, are they really realistic expectations? Or are they something that I watch in a movie and I want it? Or are they something that I believe that I can have, but are they really realistic? So that's my second point.
True.
Can I go on?
Yes, you can go ahead, Ma.
Okay, so point number 3 is how to become irresistible. First, like I said, number one, you must know and understand and love yourself. And I said, number 2, you must know if you're having an unrealistic expectation. What are your expectations from your spouse? And number 3, I like to say, the next step is really
the network.
so sorry.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, so I was saying, so the third point is really meeting the needs of your spouse. So every man and every woman, of course, we all have basic needs, at least basic needs that we need for our spouses. But at the top of it all, the 3 core needs that every human being needs, whether male or female, are the need in a relationship. Number 1, the need to feel safe. Does my spouse feel safe with me? Right? The number 2, the need to feel loved. Does my spouse feel loved? And number 3, the need to feel heard. Does my spouse feel heard? So we need to, if you want to become an irresistible woman, you need to know, am I meeting these 3 core needs for my man? Does he feel safe with me. And when I mean safe, it talks about verbally. How do I talk to him? Do I speak with him with respect? Do I make him feel less of a man by the way I speak to him? Do I make him feel like he's not worth anything? Do I nag him? Do I whine? Do I do all of those things that irritate him? Does he feel safe actually talking to me? Right? And does he feel safe opening up to me? Does he feel safe emotionally? Does he feel safe verbally? Does he feel safe financially? Does he feel safe financially? It's very important as well. Like, do I, does he trust me with our finances? Okay, so it is a core need for every human being to feel safe in any relationship. So these three things. Now, does he feel love? How do I express love to my man? So in marriage and relationship, we try to share love to our spouses, but with the way we want to be loved. But the right way is to love your spouse the way they want to be loved. So how does my man want to be loved? Take the time to study him. Take the time to know what is his love language. What speaks love to him? What does this love to him? Does words of affirmation speak love to him? Does acts of service speak love to him? Does receiving gifts speak love to him? Does physical touch speak love to him? Or does quality time speak love to him? And it's not okay to just take the pain to learn all these love languages and then you don't do anything. And then you still relax and love him the way you want to be loved. To first of all know your spouse's love language. Then you go ahead to speak love to them using their specific love language. Yes. So love your king the way he wants to be loved, not the way you feel he should be loved, not the way you feel society wants him to be loved, not the way your mother used to love your father, not the way you see your pastor loving your pastor's wife, not the way you see other couples loving their spouses, the way your own husband, your own man wants to be loved, because they are different. They are all different. You can't love your spouse the way your mom loves your father. It can't work. So you have to specifically study your man, understand his needs, and love them exactly the way they want to be loved. Don't follow all these things. Some say men love this, men love that. It's true. But then outside of that, have a conversation with your own man. So which one is yours? Do you love sex more than you love respect? Do you love food more than you love sex? Ask them, have conversations, be open to have good conversations. Are you there with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I can hear you clearly. Yeah. Okay. No.
So the need to feel heard is another important thing. So I've spoken about the need to feel safe, the need to feel loved, and then the need to feel heard. Can your husband freely express himself to you? Can they come home and talk to you about anything? Can they come home and even talk to you about something they did wrong and not feel like you're going to judge them or you're going to drive them out of the house and make them feel like they are the devil? Right? Can you come home and talk to them as they are talking to their friends? You should be his best friend. What does a best friend do? You are not judgmental. Some of us women, we are so quick to snap when we hear some certain things. For instance, your husband comes home and say, "Oh, I met this lady and we were talking and we got talking and see what happens." The next thing say, "Hey, so you collected her number? You know, you're already, boiling inside." And what he's gonna do? He's gonna keep quiet about all of those things.
Yes,
He will not share with. And you know what? This thing tries in secrecy. But when your husband gets to the point where he's not able to talk to you about these things, certain things can happen that you may not be aware of. But it is so safe for your marriage, for your relationship, to be able to have your husband come home, talk to you about certain things that he is struggling with. We shouldn't expect perfection from spouses, but rather know that where you are weak, they are strong. Where they are strong, where they are weak, you are strong. So you are supposed to support your strength in the place of their weaknesses. Allow them to be open to you. You can support them so that you can help them and be an accountability partner to them. So make sure that your spouse feels heard. Yeah. So the next point I want to talk about is also add value to your relationship and marriage. Add value. What are you bringing to the table? Okay? What are you bringing to the table? Even if you say I am a housewife for now, or first, or I am okay being a housewife, what are you still bringing to the table? And your husband come home for you and discuss ideas with you, and you come up with suggestions, right? So sorry about that. Can he come home, even if you are a housewife? How are you developing yourself? Hello. So can your husband come home and talk to you? Even if you are a housewife, how are you developing yourself? What are you reading? What are you doing all day? Or are you just sitting down and watching TV and letting the day go by? No, you have to pay attention to self-development. You have to take courses. You have to read. You have to be in a community of other women too who are doing big things. You can be from your home. You can stay at home and build empires. What value are you bringing to your husband, or coming back home to meet you, tying wrap on your chest and feeling, I've been tired, I've been doing this? No. An irresistible woman knows how to be on top of her game, how to be on top of her game, outside of the home and inside of the home. So what are you bringing to the table? Apart from giving birth to children, having sex with him, cooking for him, and all of those things, what else are you really bringing to the table? That's the question. Add value to yourself. If you want to be an irresistible woman, add value to yourself. You have to be in a circle that supports you, that pushes you to be your best self. You can be more. You can be more than a wife, more than a mom. You can be more. You can do more. Okay? And I also want to say this: add value to your sex life. Very, very important. It's very, very important in marriage. Spice things up. Be romantic. Don't just wait for your man to be romantic. You too, bring up something. Bring up surprises here and there. Do things that make him go, where did you even get this from?
Ladies. Yes.
Surprise him.
Yes.
Oh, don't just wait for him to take you out. Sometimes, come on, take him out and actually swipe your card. Right? And tell him, no, today I got it. You are a boss lady. So we need to up our game everything. He's your man, Study telling him so much that you know what tickles him. You know what, gets him on top of his toes, like, oh my God, I'm all over in love again with this woman.
Irresistible.
Pay attention to his need for respect. Treat him as VIP. And when I mean VIP, I mean treat him with respect in terms of verbally, intellectually, and physically. Treat him with honor and respect.
True.
Okay, meet his need for sex, meet his need for companionship. Some people think men don't like companionship, but they do. They do. Need for companionship, need his need for support, be his helper. And when the Bible says helper, it's not just helping at home. No, emotional helper. He should be able to come home and cry on your shoulder because he knows my wife will be there to wipe my tears. My wife will be there to push me, to support me, to make me become the man I dream to become. And the last point I want to talk about today about becoming an irresistible spouse is pray for your man. Pray for your man. So after you've done all of the things that I've said so far, you back it up with prayer. Prayer was in that we can't even imagine. Prayer gives good direct answers. Pray for him from head to toe. Speak into his work. Let him come back and know that, yes, this happened because my wife prayed for me. I'm telling you, your man will be head over heels for you. Just keep on praying. Let him know that he has a supporting wife. He has a wife who is praying for him at home or in the office or wherever you are. Just don't stop praying for him. Pray for him. Pray for his heart. Pray for his sexuality, because you hear so many infidelity cases out there and it's so scary. And the place of prayer cannot be overemphasized. Pray for him that God will keep him pure, that he will not defile himself. Pray prayers for your man. That makes you an irresistible spouse. Because prayers communicate love in a strong, different way. I'm telling you, it does. So pray for your man from head to toe. I hope with these few points of mine, I hope you will take it home and become the really, really sweet, irresistible wife and woman.
Wow.
Yes.
This is wonderful. This is beautiful. This is wow. Thank you so much for joining this LS today to enlighten our eyes of understanding on becoming an irresistible woman. A lot of people have been blessed, and I see someone said she would like to ask you a question, but I will ask her to type it because she's asking for your number if she can call you to ask right now. Can she call you to ask the question right now? Okay, let me send your number to her so she can. Okay.
No problem. No problem. So I also have a book. I actually have a book that is titled The Irresistible Spouse.
Irresistible Spouse. Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of things have been shared here about becoming the irresistible spouse. Really for women and for men as well. So if anyone would love to get digging more into some of the points that I shared here today, you can do so. And for those saying, oh, I don't know how to pray for my man from head to toe, I also have a book, Praying for Your Husband from Head to Toe. So you can also...
Yes, that's true. Okay, we'll be talking about the book very soon. So please, you can call in so she would be able to. You can call in into that number I dropped at the live chat, so we can call her through that number. Then she has some books like Praying for Your Man from Head to Toe. She has written some books. Praying for Your Man from Head to Toe. She has another book, Irresistible Spouse. So that one a man can also read and a woman can also go through the book. So you can call through that number. Okay, let me call out the number again. +23350 688 6078, because I'm unable to get to a number now. But when you call me, I'll put it on loudspeaker so she can also hear. Then I'll send a number through after this stream. So you can call through that number.
All right.
I think Om of a Good Story wants to ask a question. You can call through that number if you are watching us right now. You can call through the numbers that is over there, so you can ask your question. I don't think. Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming. Oh, Jesus. So, more focus to okay. The first caller is calling in already. Okay. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Yeah. You want to contribute to, or you want to ask a question? Or
Yeah, so I want to ask question.
okay, you can ask your question now.
So, okay, but before I do,
Okay.
I want to use this opportunity to thank you for this, your platform.
Thank you very much. So thank God.
Anytime I listen to your message, I'm always happy. You know, there's some certain things tough. You know, there are certain things I do that happen in my marriage. I see them as normal.
Okay.
You know, but by the time you talk about it, that this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, and I see myself that as in this thing has been happening in my marriage, then I will not be like, wow, that means you're doing the right thing. That means the right thing has been happening in my home.
Yes.
But that's me even knowing.
That's good.
You know, I really enjoy. Anytime I'm watching you, I'm always smiling.
Thank you.
At times I will just take my statement. I don't type, but I will just be listening to you. You know, when you are saying something, this time I'm doing it. Oh, this one I'm not doing it, and this I'm doing it. I remember the last time I listened, I also watched you, and when you said we should be communicating with our in-laws.
Okay.
I learned it. Believe me, I did it the same day. That same day you talked about it. Okay. And it went well, and I was so happy about it. So I thank you for everything you are doing here.
Thank you.
All right. So this is my question.
Okay.
About what the other lady.
Okay.
What she said, Lady Emma.
Yes.
Amen. No. Amen.
Yes.
Coach, yeah. What she said earlier.
Okay.
You understand? As we should make our husband feel loved. You understand?
Yes.
So my question is, there are some men that beat their wives. Okay. You know, there are some men that cheat on their wives. Okay. So, but when you does that mean that their wives are not making them feel loved? You know, does that mean that they feel when they are doing all those things? Does that mean that they are not beloved, as in they feel that they are not beloved by their wives? Those men that beat their wives.
Okay. Okay.
Or the men that beat their wives, when you make them feel as in when you make them, I don't know how to put it. When you love them, like you make them feel you love them, I don't know how to put it. Then will it stop them from doing those things the way they maltreat their wives? Will it stop them?
Okay. So is that
how? If you're getting my question.
Yes. Okay. So our guest is going to attend to your question. Is that all the question you want to ask on today?
No, I just want to. I want to get this first.
Okay.
I don't want to put everything together.
Okay, Ma, you can answer. She wants you to answer the question.
Okay, so you said a man who cheats and a man who abuses, right? Like, right. A man who cheats on his wife and a man who abuses, that's physical abuse, right? That was
Yes.
her question. That the wife is not showing
anything.
Okay. Can you please maybe? She said she can't hear it clearly. Okay.
Maybe she drop the call.
Okay, the call is still on. Okay. You can continue now. So.
All right. So the truth is, when it comes to infidelity and abuse, sometimes it's always not about what the wife does or doesn't do. There are different things that triggers infidelity. There are different things that triggers abuse. But at the core of it, if a man is abusing physically, is abusing his wife physically, the wife should go out for safety first. Your life first. That's not the point where you say, I need to love him back to sanity, so that you don't end up with like other women who have, lost their life in the face of abuse because they were thinking that loving this man more will change them, or doing this will change them, or doing this will change them. So first of all, please go to a safe place first, and you can pray for him from there. If he wants you back, then he should be willing to subject himself to mental counseling, to see a therapy that will help him deal with his anger. Sometimes it is uncontrolled anger that leads to abuse. So this man has to first of all deal with his anger issues first before you even get back into the same room with that man, so that you don't end up like other women who have died in the process of having an abused husband and trying to love them back. If it's a constant thing, he needs help. He needs to see a therapist to be able to deal with the anger and sort it out. Now, coming to infidelity. Infidelity is a lot of things causes infidelity. And I can't tell you here that this is why it's cheating. Maybe it's not because it's not really about the love. There are certain things, there are a number of things. It could be his nature. It could be that it could be his background. It could be that he grew up thinking or seeing things like that, and he say, "Oh, what's the deal? Every man cheats. What's the point? Mine is different." So if it's a background and mental issue, it needs to be dealt with by still seeing a counselor, right? It needs to be dealt with to say that no, infidelity is not normal. It's not a normal thing. It's not because everybody doesn't know. There are still men who don't do it. Okay. Then another cause is it can also that they can actually be seeking for a need that is not being met at home. That's something else. That's another area. They are seeking out outside for a need that is not being met. And sometimes they've not really communicated this need to their wives. And don't get me wrong, women also cheat as well in marriage. It's not just the men. But, since I'm talking, so let's keep that side. So a lot of things it could be emotional emptiness that they are feeling. They need more companionship, and probably their spouse is not being there for them. And instead of them to sit down and write whatever is wrong, they are going to search for it outside. So a lot of things can lead to infidelity. The first thing is to find the root of it and solve it, not by loving him, but first of all, so is he willing to change? There are some men who are now chronic, cheaters. They just can't help it. That man needs help. He needs to see a therapist. It's an addiction that needs to be broken. It's not, no matter how much you show him love, it's not going to be broken. He needs mental health help. He needs emotional help. He needs to be able to deal with his addiction. So I hope that answers her question.
Yes, that answers her question. So she said she wants to ask more questions. So I would put a call through to so I think she would ask the second question right away. So we can run this section up. Because she wasn't hearing clearly, so she had to drop the call so she can listen to it again through the voice. So another question, let me ask this question, like someone dropped the question. There are kind of sex deprivation that some men go into, like saying they don't want to come through the front, like doing all sorts of things. Can we say that if we want to show them love, should we, as a woman, as a married woman, give in to any kind of thing that they bring to us? Like, okay, even if we are not convenienced with that kind of thing, should we all put into it because we want to give them the love and we want to show them that love? Because oftentimes a lot of women have done a lot of things like cooking the right dishes, trying to learn their love language, help giving it to them every now and then in the other room, doing all sorts of things. Yet those men still humanize or do all sorts of things that is unspeakable. What can we really say is responsible to such? And do we really need to, like, I'm asking to in one question now, can we give it, or when, even if we're inconveniencing ourselves because we want to show that we really love them? And the second question is, what can we really say is the issue? Like, is related to the question she just asked, that what can we really say we should give to them for them to stop, for them to behave right? Let me use that word, for them to do the right thing.
Like I said, I was asking that question, that infidelity differs from person to person. There is no general rule to say if you give your husband, will not cheat on you. Nah. For some, even no matter how much you give him sex, he still go out. Because that's who he is. It has become a part of him. He's addicted to it. So that kind of man, what you can do for him is get him help to see a therapist, and that's it. There's really nothing, even if you try to hang your leg up and do this one, he won't still be satisfied. He still wants to go test out other things. Now, and that's why I say, if it's a problem of a need not being met and it's being communicated to you, then you can fix the problem. Then you can know, oh, this need of companionship, for instance, I'm not meeting it well. I'm not spending more time with him. Let me create time for him. But I want you to understand one thing. If you have a husband who is constantly cheating on you, there is nothing you will do that will really change him, apart from praying for him. So most importantly, you should pray for him. That's the number one priority. That's the number one place to start. You should pray for him if you really want him to change, and get him to get help. And when you want to get him to get help, don't make him look like the devil. Tell him that I want to love you better. I want you to love me better. I want us to have a happy and fruitful marriage, and so we need to see a counselor to be able to deal with these things. There are some who are into infidelity, but yet they are trying to change, but they don't know how. They are trying to get rid of it. They are trying to but they don't know how. So at this point, this can really help. But there are some who don't just care, like they don't care. And that's a very chronic issue. They don't care. Like whether you like it or not, this is my life and I'm living it. And so for those kind of men, you have to pray for them. And as well as you can also seek help. So because when a counselor sits with you to really know exactly what is going on, then you can solution
I think okay. We have a call. Yes. Hello.
Okay.
The call just dropped right now. Okay, the call has dropped. Let me see if I will get some other caller. Hello. Hello. You mute. The call has been muted. Hello. Okay. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Good afternoon.
But I'm hearing. The problem is I'm hearing you, but when she's talking, I don't hear her.
Oh,
but if I unmute my device, then it will not be distracting other people. You know.
Okay.
That's why I want to leave my question. I think it's better. Let me just ask the question in the comment section.
Okay. Would you like to ask it now? So far we are on call. She can hear you right now.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Mom. Although I didn't hear the reply you gave to my other question because it was really low. Okay. So my other question is, at times, like what you said, you have to love yourself first. You know, the way you love yourself, that is how, like, you are giving what you have. You understand?
Yes.
So how will you know that, at times there are certain things you think other people know it, but it's not like that. All right? So how do you know that the way you love yourself, you are giving it out to others, like to your partner?
Okay.
And for example, you are also giving it, and the person is not reciprocating. So what will you do?
Okay.
You understand my question?
Yes.
Like, for example, I'm showing let me just use myself for example. I'm showing my husband, okay, like, yeah, this is how I want to show my love to him. And he's not returning it back. When we keep doing something, we keep doing the same thing, you get tired, you get fed up. You understand? So what will you do when a woman, most especially we women, we are too emotional. So what will you do when you find yourself in that situation, that you are loving your husband? You are putting your effort to make him see the way you are caring about him, but he's not even seeing it, let alone want to show it to you back. So what will you do?
Okay.
So
can you hear now?
One thing.
So what I will do,
can you hear me now?
Then I will unmute my device so I can be hearing her through my computer. It's better.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no problem then. Okay, Ma, you can come in.
Okay, so like I said from the beginning as well, you can't love your husband the way you want to love him. You can't love your husband the way you think you should love him. You can't care for him the way you think you should care for him. To be sure that you are loving your husband, you have to communicate. Marriage, everything about marriage has to do with communication. Communication is the bedrock of every marriage. Communication. Now, you have to communicate. You have to communicate with him to know, how do you want me to love you? Teach me how to love you. Sometimes especially we women, we just think, oh, this one is love. Probably you heard that, oh, you should do this for a man. You heard that, oh, you should do this for a man. You hear that, oh, you should do this. So you carry all of that and you say, hey, I'm loving my husband. And probably, I'll just share a story one of my pastors shared with us, that, when they first got married, she would stay in the kitchen because she heard that the way to a man's heart is food. It's through food. So she would in the kitchen. She would go to different delicacies. She would cook. So by the time the husband comes back from work, she's all tired. She's been cooking all day, and she will now display all of them on the table, like, honey, please make your choice. And the husband will just go get 2 slices of bread, the butter, put it on the bread, take it with the juice, and he's fine. And she said she will be boiling. What is this man doing to me? How could you? After I have done this morning, I've not even rested. I've been cooking for you. She said she almost destroyed her marriage because she was loving this man the way society has painted it. The way, because society has said that the way to a man's heart is food. But I'm asking, what is the way to your man's heart? To your man's heart, not a man's heart, your own man. What's the way to his heart? So she said one day the husband just called her and said, come, don't you notice that I don't eat all this food that you keep cooking? And she said, I'm wondering, but I'm trying to be a good wife to you. I'm trying to show you that I love you. I'm trying to do all of these things for you. And you're not even appreciating my effort. And he said, because it doesn't mean anything to me. You can see I don't eat food. I don't like food. So it's not my thing. It's not the way to my heart. And the way to my heart, which is actually sex, you have not had time for me because you're so busy all day cooking. And when I'm home, you're tired. And when I come home and I want to have sex with my wife, she's tired because she's been working all day trying to get to my heart. Meanwhile, the way to my heart, she's not doing that part. So this is what some of us do in our marriages. We run with what we have heard, and we just mess it up all into our marriage. But I want you to, first of all, ask your husband, communicate with him. What does love mean to him? You will be surprised at his response. Then you can now identify, oh, these things I've been doing. That means he really didn't communicate love to him. And when it comes to reciprocating, trust me, with men, it's actually very easier than with women. With men, just be consistent with meeting that particular need that tops it all for them. With consistency, a man, especially if he loves you, with consistency, he will start to think, my wife has been doing it. Let me do this for her. Let me help her with this. Let me help her with this. But you must, first of all, make sure that you are communicating love to him the way he wants to be loved, not the way you feel or the way you think or the way you heard that he should be loved. I think that is,
yes,
I hope that's
really
a good answer to
yes. Okay. Okay. Ma, I hope she has answered your question clearly and you had her right this time around. Hello.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. Yes, you really answered my question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you very much for calling.
Last but not the least.
Okay.
You know, there are some people, they are not good at they're not good at communicating. You know, when you are trying to communicate with them, they turn it into trouble, into problems. You understand? There are some men and women, you know, like, I don't know if it's the way they are putting it or the way they are starting the conversation.
Okay.
You understand? So my friend once told me that whenever she wants to talk to her husband, or a man rather, the man will tell her that she is not good she's not good in communicating. Like, she's not as in the kind of person he wants to communicate with. Like, because whenever they are talking, it always turns to problem. Like, maybe they're just joking, or like from there they bring like something they want to discuss about. So the thing will not turn into a problem, like that will not give them quarrel, make them quarrel.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. So what could that be? Because she said a man is always telling her that she's not good in that area. You understand? But she said at times she don't say it out of anger. She just like, whenever she wants to talk to the man, because of the way the man is telling her, she's trying to like bring it to change her own way, like the way she would communicate, that will not result to problem. But it always end up as problem.
Okay.
You understand? So what do you think is it could be the cause of that thing, of that issue? No, I don't know how to put it.
Okay. We got your question. Okay.
So she has actually identified the cause, which is her communication skill. Communication is a skill that we all need to learn. That we all need to learn. You know, communication is not just talking. I have something to talk. Okay, I have something to say, so I have to say it. I have to say it. I have to say it. A lot of things come to play when we want to communicate. Body language, tone, your tone is 80%. Your tone. How do you say these things to your man? Okay, your body language also communicates in a lot of ways.
We have another caller in the building. Okay, but I'll call back. Okay, finish that one so I can see. Maybe I'll pick the call later. Okay, you were discussing about communication. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I said, so communication is a skill that every couple should really take the time to learn. And when it comes to communication, tone matters, timing matters, tone matters, your body language matters as well. And don't try to bring up an issue that you want to communicate if you're really angry about it, because your spouse's response will just trigger you and it will get into a serious argument. So you need to understand and pause and, you know, breathe in and breathe out. But there are a lot of things. In fact, communication is a whole course that everyone needs to learn. Communication is not just about saying what you want to say. It's all about considering how will what I want to say move my marriage forward. How do I say this thing in a way that will bring agreement, that in a way that will bring unity in my marriage, not in a way that will make us, you know, quarrel and all of that. So I really think that your friend needs to really learn how to communicate better with her man. Yeah, she needs to learn how to communicate better.
Okay, thank you, ma. I'll pick the call for the second caller. I think someone is calling in too. So let me see if the person is calling to speak to you.
Okay, because I really need to.
Good afternoon.
I'm watching you.
Okay.
And you can put me on speaker.
Okay, you're on speaker, ma.
Okay. I just want to appreciate the lady.
Thank you.
She really spoke well, yeah.
Thank you,
that is exactly what we all women. They really need to work more on their home. They really need to respect their men. It doesn't really matter what the husband is doing to them. They really just have to stand true, because if we want to look inside that what our husband is doing, because of that one, you will do small, you will stop, you will do today, you will not do tomorrow because the man is not returning. It will spoil the home. You understand? That will spoil the home, and that's why we make the home not to be okay. Because some men, I know some men, they will just keep quiet, as if they are not seeing you, but not that they are not seeing you, they are keeping every record. So that is one thing some women should understand. Some men, they are keeping record, they are just keeping quiet, watching, see how she's going to react because of the way she's showing her love. You know, so I think many women, we need to learn this, that as we are doing, we should not stop. We should not get tired. With love, with smiling, with everything, you will not get tired, because since you are doing it with your happy heart, with your good heart, so you will not be looking like I'm doing for my husband, he's not returning. Okay. You know, because this life is not like maybe if I give you, you give me. No, it's not like that. You will be giving. Sometimes your own might be much than your husband, but continue giving. So maybe one day that he will return, it will be, his own will be even huge than the one that you have been giving every day. You understand? So we should really learn that this is how we ought to live our life. And by the grace of God, all of us will achieve our destiny home. So I really thank the lady, the host. God will bless you. You really, in fact, you well spoken. Very, very well. I appreciate you much. God will bless you. And my lady Esther Roya, God will bless you. You are really doing a great job. The hand of God is upon you. I really do appreciate you. You guys are doing well. So we always speak up, and God will continue to help us all. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you, ma. God bless you. So we would call it a day here because our guest is I've overspent our time. Thank you very much, Ma. We really appreciate, and I'm so blessed to have you on my channel today. It's a huge step to have you on this channel, and I hope when we'll be inviting you to come back to speak to us, you will come for us. So, I would like you to talk a little on that books, how they can get it, if they can get the hard copy or the soft copy, how much is it? Or so anyone that wants to get can communicate with me, then I would get across to you. I mean, the book you are talking about, can you give us just short?
Okay, no problem. So I actually have 6 books. I have the one that I spoke about is the Irresistible Spouse, but it's not available in Ghana. It's available in Nigeria, but there is an e-copy and audio copy that you can get,
okay.
And this costs about $7. I was trying to use the Naira equivalent. Then I have the prayer manuscript for praying for your husband from head to toe. It contains prayers from head to toe, just speaking to his heart, his mind, his eyes, every part of his body. It's actually 2,500 Naira. That's about $8 as well. And it's also available only as e-book. Once you make it, you get it right. And then someone asked about communicating right, and I know we talked. So I have a guide, an e-guide, to help you. It says 20 communication mistakes that we make and how to avoid them. It's just a very simple read that you can just read in a few minutes, but it will give you a lot of things that you need to learn about communication. And it goes for just $4, And there's another guide that is 80 romantic surprises, just to get your man to actually make you the irresistible spouse, surprising him with a lot of ideas. So I have that guide as well, is also $4. So if you want to get any of my materials, I think she will give you my phone number or something to access me with. Right. You're muted. I'm talking about. You're muted.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. We say thank you and we appreciate, really celebrate your presence today. And we say, may God bless you, may God increase you, may you continue to affect your generation positively in Jesus' name. And your marriage will continue to grow sweeter. We grow bigger, we grow wealthier in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. So thank you very much, Ma. Thank you. Okay. So,
all right.
Yes. Okay. So, hello. Thank you all for joining me today, and it's a wrap on today's section. Thanks to all the callers that called in. I'll be celebrating my callers. Home of a Good Story, Mommy. Thank you very much. Prevail Lifestyle. I welcome you. Bierabon. Thank you very much. Alpha Creations, you're wonderful. Mommy Elon, thank you. Digraph, thank you so much. That beautiful couple, I really thank you for coming. The Royals, thank you for coming. Then who else is there? Oma Beauty World, you are welcome. Thank you for joining. Esther Igiogbe, thank you for joining me today on Today LS. I really celebrate everyone for joining today. So in case you are joining late, I'll quickly just recap in less than 1 minute what she has discussed. She said, if we want to become an irresistible partner, we must love ourselves. That's the first thing. If you don't have, you can't give what you don't have. When you love yourself, that is when you can give it. And that is why some people die in their marriage, because if you love yourself, you love your life before saying you love a man and staying in that marriage. So you'll be able to run for your life to find a solution to that man you love. If you don't live that way, the way you are being battered in that house, you might end up dying there. So the first thing she mentioned is loving yourself. Then the second thing is our expectation. Is our expectation realistic? That there are a lot of ladies, a lot of women have an unrealistic expectation. they expect their spouse to buy them Oma Jeep. Why they know that the money their spouse is collecting is not even, when they use all the 6 months salary, cannot buy an Oma Jeep with the expenses of house rent and thereabouts. You know, she said that we should be realistic. When we talk about realistic, like, okay, putting things in priority. Like, okay, your Oma Jeep can still wait till 2 years to come. You need to, like, okay, let's get a land, let's build our own house. All those things are still realistic, and they are something that is a long time goal that you can actually visit first. She said that we should understand, we should look into our expectation, things we expect our spouse to do. Are they realistic? Because sometimes when we give them too high thing that we want them to do what we cannot even give ourselves. Some women cannot buy themselves only Toyota car and they want to imagine. So she's saying that we should try to re-examine our expectation, if it is realistic or unrealistic. Another thing she mentioned is that understanding yourself, self-identity, understand what you have, like on this channel, I mentioned something, some women, you ask them, do you want this one? She said, I'm not sure. Do you want this one? I'm not sure. You yourself, you don't even know what you want. So how did you want someone outside you to understand what you really want? So we need to understand ourselves. We need to understand what we really want before one can love us or one can satisfy us with love. So she now said there are 3 basic needs that we need to meet to satisfy our man, to make our man, to make us irresistible to our man. She said save. If your man is safe in your hand, if your man is loved by you, and if your man wants to be heard, saved in what aspect? She said that you must financially help your spouse, you must verbally help your spouse, you must physically. When we talk about finances, I'll just speak that one. Some women, for example, maybe you get you took $50 to the market and you actually want to buy cooking utensils or something, then you end up using that money to buy something that doesn't really worth what you went to the market for. It's like you have spent extravagantly, or let me say, you didn't actually achieve that aim in which you went to the market at first. So that kind of man might want to be keeping money, or a man that noticed that the husband, the wife, is always, whenever he has that their face salary, the wife will now go and bring one long list. I want to change my makeup, I want to change my wardrobe. So that kind of man will be hiding resources from that woman. Won't want that woman to know when they increase his salary. He will not allow that woman to know if he did a business and the business brought in income, because he knows that his money, his finances is not saving that woman, because the woman will bring expenses and collect money just because the woman has seen a lot of money. And that is why in olden days, the mother and father, the men will say that don't allow your wife to know the amounts you are collecting, because they believe that women know how to collect money to buy unnecessary things. Another thing she mentioned is love. Like our guest said that don't love your husband the way you want to be loved. For example, now, there was a day I was asking my husband, what is my love language? And he now said that he mentioned some things. I said, okay. It's part of my love language. But what is the number one? He said I said, no, it's not everything. Then I now told him, this is the number one. This is my number one. So he was thinking one was my number one. I told him that is not my number one. So sometimes we might, my number one might be a service, act of service. And your husband number one might be touch. Like just he like you to touch him, to cuddle him, maybe at night. So when your own is act of service, you also want to reciprocate love to him by giving out of service, like helping him to do all sorts of things. And that way he might not be enjoying, or he might not be seeing that you love him. Because in marriage, you need to understand that particular way to love your husband. It's not like, okay, this is how I love my husband and this is what he has been giving me. So you now say, okay, because my friend love is showing the love this way, so let me to go and show you. Like our guests explain, I'm trying to rush it, so I don't spend much time. Our guest says that there's a woman, she was cooking. The other room is the man's love language. Why she thinks the society says that the way to the man's heart is food, though it's 2 types of food. Not knowing is the second food. She's busy doing the first food, and it is the second food. So we need to understand which kind, or is it the first food or the second food or the 2 food in combination. So we need to actually understand which one. And one thing about men is that they don't get tired of that way of love. Like women, maybe when you are courting your husband, your love language might be time, like attention. The man will be giving her. When you get married, you might change to gifts. Like if he gives, when somebody gifts you, you'll be so happy, you appreciate it. Or words of affirmation or something, telling you I love you, I love you. Most persons is during courtship, but you might also crave for it in marriage. So you need to now understand that, okay, we are not in courtship again, because in that courtship there's limits. You can't say your love, your way of expressing love in courtship is touching. You know that when you start touching, something can happen. So you will guide against that thing. But now in marriage, you need to now understand that primary love language. In this channel, I've mentioned the 5 love language. You have the 5 primary love language. So you need to now understand that particular one. Then I now ask him, what is your own love language? Then he say, I say, you yourself, are you sure you know your? So you need to now communicate, like asking that person or trying it out. When you give him gift, how does he react? When you touch him, maybe at night or in the midnight when you went to ease yourself, just rub his head, pat his back. Does he like feel, there's a way you feel like somebody's enjoying something. In the morning when he wakes up, touch his head, there's a way you react that you will see it in his face that, okay, maybe he likes this. That is touch. Is it word of affirmation? Like when you call him, oh, I love you, thank you so much for the care. There are some men, they like you appreciating them. Like, thank you for taking care of me and my children. You've been so wonderful to us. Even before the main thing in the other room, you can just praise him like that. You are so loving. You're a loving father and you're a loving husband. You've been the best we ever wanted. All those things. It's not only when you want to collect money for Ashrebi that you now remember that, darling, thank you very much. But you will know that you want to collect money. So there are some ways we just need to learn that kind of their own primary love language. And that is why when you give it, like the last time I was talking, the woman said she used to receive a lot. I've had a lot of persons talk about that thing. So like when you are able to express that particular love language, you will be receiving a lot. You will receive gifts. Even what you did not ask, you will receive. Even if the man can buy a car, you just see him come in one day, give you a car key. So that is one thing about man. When you understand their own primary love language, forget it though. If you like, I'm not saying you should be dead still, I'm just making as an example. If you didn't even cook, maybe you are tired, they won't get angry. They can even go to the kitchen and do the cooking just because you are loving them the right way. But you saying that food is there, if you like cook all the intercontinental, if food is not the way to his own heart, you are just wasting your time. If you like do all sorts, that is why some people, so let us leave that one. Then the last one she talked about is hard. Like there are some men, when their wife is talking to them, their wife is already judging. You have never allowed him to land. You have started judging. A lot of women are guilty of this. I read a story that what if Jonah was in this our current world, and Jonah now gets home and tell the wife, do you know what happened? The wife is boiling already. 3 days you didn't see the man, you are boiling. And Jonah now gets home and say, see, when I was going to Tashe, that was why a big fish now swallowed me and I stayed there for 3 days. How many women will believe that? They say, 3 days. How will the ship swallow you? A fish, ordinary fish, not tilapia or not Titus. Fish swallow you and you are still like this. That a lot of people will not believe it. Truly. And I think, let's be realistic. True. If Jonah was in our current world and now said that fish swallow, how many wives would have believed that? So let us learn to believe them. Because sometimes some things might look like fake, but it's just the real. They are just telling you the facts. Sometimes some husband will come on and tell you, there's this guy in my office, so instead of you to like, okay, or maybe someone is disturbing your husband. There are some ladies, they can come and stand in their neck. They'll be calling them and be disturbing them. You help people. Don't get angry. Don't just get angry, like disturbing your husband, like, how did you give her number? Pick the call for her. How are you, my sister? How are you doing? Hope you are good. Hope there's no problem. You are fine. Okay, what did you need? As in, don't make it be offensive. Don't be too nice and don't be too offensive. There are some greetings. You greet as an African woman. The other person knows that this greeting now go get. You will not say it angrily, but you are greeting the woman go serve. No, say you don't overpass your boundary. I beg, maintain. You understand that thing? So we need to not. So he will be able to tell us more. Because when he's saying this, you didn't even allow him to finish. You don't jump on top. Hey, how did he get your number? You are now fighting him. There are some things that sometimes when it's about to choke, you know, there are some men, they used to think it's free. When they're about to choke, they won't be able to tell you to be able to pray for them. Another thing she mentioned, is said, add value to your relationship. I think everyone add that. Then the last thing she mentioned is prayer. Pray for your husband. It's very essential. Even after the two food in the kitchen and in the other room, even after the I love you, even after the caress, even after the everything, prayer is so important, because when our eyes is not there, when he's in the office, we don't know what he's facing. When he's somewhere, some people will even go to trip 3 months, 3 weeks trip. You don't know, we don't know what is there. It's only what they tell us that we can hear. But prayer will always work it out for us. Prayer will always do the needful when we are not there to actually see them. I hope you have all enjoyed this section today. Myself, I enjoyed it. It's so wonderful and it's so interesting. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and please tell someone to tell someone about the Estaria TV channel, that there are some lovely topics that is on this channel. Even if they are close to getting married, they are married, or they are engaged, there are vital things they need to understand about relationship. And it's a wrap on today's LS. Thank you all for joining me. Let me call everyone again: Esther Yogbe, Mommy B. Eragbon, Mommy Elonwa, Mommy Home of a Good Story, and everyone that has joined me on today's LS. I say thank you, Oma TV, the Giraffes LS, the Royals, then Prevail Lifestyle, then Alpha Creation. Thank you all. God bless you. Bye-bye. 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 Thank you.